Good afternoon, everybody. Today I am going to continue lesson The Gift of Magi, part 2 of 10th standard, first language. Up to 9th paragraph already I had explained the lesson. So let me begin with paragraph 10. So now Della's beautiful hair fell about her, rippling and shining like a cascade of brown waters. So here the writer says that Della had a beautiful hair which looked like a cascade of brown waters. It reached below her knee and made itself almost a garment for her. Della had so long hair that from backside, if anybody looks at it, they looked like a garment. And then she did it up again nervously and quickly. Once she faltered for a minute and stood still while a tear or two splashed on the worn red carpet. Della looked at her hair, and for a second she felt nervous, and very soon she had a tear in her eyes. On went her old brown jacket, on went her old brown hat. She wore her old brown jacket as well as old brown hat with a whirl of skirt and with a brilliant sparkle still in her eyes. The skirt which she had worn it had many whirls. Immediately an brilliant idea appeared in her mind. She looked very happy. She fluttered out of the door and down the stairs to the street. Immediately she went out of the door and she moved into one of the street. Look here, children. You can see the beautiful hair of Della, which were like a cascade of brown waters. Where she stopped, the sign read Madame Safroni. As already in the picture you saw that there was a lady who had a parlor, and the name of that lady was Madame Safroni. It was written outside the parlor, hair goods of all kinds. One flight up Della ran and collected herself, panting. So Della ran immediately. As she was panting, Madame, large, too white, chilly, hardly looked the Safroni. So Madame Safroni, she was very fair, and she looked at Della. Will you buy my hair? Asked Della. After looking at her, Della asked Madame Safroni whether she could buy Della's hair. I buy hair, said Madame. Then Safroni, Madame, replied that she buy all kinds of hair. Take your hat off and let us have a sight at the looks of it. Then Madame Safroni said Della to take her hat off, and she wanted to look the side of her hair. Down rippled the brown cascade. The hair were like a brown cascade. $20, said Madame, lifting the mass with a practiced hand. She looked at Della's beautiful hair and told that she will pay $20. She will buy Della's hair for $20, and immediately she looked up the object with which she was about to cut Della's hair. Give it to me quick, said Della. Della said Madame Safroni to take her hair immediately. Oh, and the next 2 hours tripped by on rosy wings. The next 2 hours they went very fast. Forget the hashed metaphor. She was ransacking the stores of Jim's present. Della forgot the difficulties she faced it. Now she started searching the stores to buy Jim's present. She found it at last. At last she could find the gift which she was searching. It surely had been made for him and no one else. She felt that the gift which she was buying, it was perfectly made for Jim. There was no other like it in any of the stores. The gift which she found there, it was unique. It was only one of its kind. She could not find like that gift in any of the stores. And she had turned all of them inside it. Everywhere she had searched it like that gift, but she hadn't found anywhere. It was a platinum fob chain. So the gift which she at last searched was platinum fob chain, simple and chaste in design. The platinum chain was very simple to look and it had a beautiful design, properly proclaiming its value by substance alone and not by mere precious ornamentation. The chain was very simple and it was very valuable. It was not just a mere precious means show off of ornamentation, means it was just not a beautiful looking ornament as all good things should do. It was even worthy of the watch. The platinum fob chain which Della was buying, it was perfectly worthy for the watch. As soon as she saw it, she knew that it must be Jim's. So as soon as she saw it, surely she understood that it will be perfect for Jim. It was like him. The platinum chain was also like Jim. Quietness, valid, the description applied to both. The description will be applied for both. That is, here the fob chain was simple, even Jim was also simple. The fob chain was valuable, even Jim was also very good person. $21 they took from her for it. The shopkeeper took $21 as the cost of the platinum fob chain, and she hurried home with the 87 cents. She had taken $1.87 as she sold her hair. Now she gave it $21 and remaining 87 cents she brought it back to home. With that chain on his watch, Jim might be properly anxious about the time in any company. She thought that when the fob chain is attached to the watch, Jim will feel it happy to look at it. Grand as the watch was, he sometimes looked at it on the sly on account of the old leather strap that he used in place of a chain. Previously, Jim used to feel insulted. He used to look at the watch secretly because the watch had broken leather strap. When Della reached home, her intoxication gave way to a little prudence and reason. When Della reached home, she was very restless and she was very eager to show the gift. She got out her curling irons and lighted the gas and went to work repairing the ravages made by generosity added to love. As she went, she had sold her beautiful hair. Now she was repairing those ravages by using the curling iron, which is already a tremendous task, and it was a very difficult work to manage it. Dear friend, a mammoth task. We can say that it was a very, very huge work. Within 40 minutes, her head was covered with tiny, close-lying curls that made her look wonderfully like a truant schoolboy. So Della repaired her ravages and within 40 minutes she covered her hair with a number of tiny clips. Then, as she had arranged her hair like that, she looked like a truant schoolboy. Truant means here a child who is regularly absent from school without permission. She looked at her reflection in the mirror long. As already you saw the figure or the image of Della's hair in the mirror. So she looked there carefully and critically. If Jim doesn't kill me, she said to herself. She was very afraid of Jim, and she thought that surely he may scold her. Killing here gives the meaning scolding. Before he takes a second look at me, he will say, I look like a Coney Island chorus girl. Before Jim looked at Della, he may say that Della was looking like a Coney Island girl. Coney Island is a famous entertainment place on Long Island, which is in New York. And there he compared her with chorus girl. Chorus girl means here a girl who dances or sings in a musical comedy. I look like Coney Island chorus girl, but what could I do? Oh, what could I do with $1.87? This sentence she said to herself. She said she had not any other option to do. She had just $1.87, which were insufficient for her to buy any kind of gift for Jim. At 7 o'clock, the coffee was made and the frying pan was on the back of the stove, hot and ready to cook the chops. The time was 7 o'clock. She prepared a coffee, and on the other side she kept a frying pan to cook the meat chops. Jim was never late. It was Jim's habit that always he used to be on time. He never used to come late. Della doubled the fob chain in her hand. Doubled means kept. She kept the fob chain in her hand and sat on the corner of the table near the door. Della sat near the door. She was very curious to show the gift which she had brought it for Jim, that he always entered. She sat near the corner of the door from where usually Jim used to enter. Then she heard his step on the stair away down on the first flight. As Jim started climbing the stairs, she sat there near and she heard the sound of the footsteps, and she turned white for just a moment. She was shocked For a moment, she had a habit of saying little silent prayers about the simplest everyday things. As she was afraid, and she had the habit of saying little prayers whenever she felt herself scared. And now she whispered, "Please God, make him think I'm still pretty." She started praying that, "God, let Jim think that still I am looking beautiful."